Welcome to this video on message authentication, where we explore how cryptographic techniques ensure the integrity, authenticity, and security of digital communications. We will cover hashing, digital signatures, message authentication codes, and public key infrastructure. These elements form the foundation of modern security protocols and are crucial for protecting sensitive data. By the end of this video, you'll understand how these techniques work, the real-world applications, and why they are vital for cybersecurity. Message authentication is a crucial aspect of cybersecurity that ensures the security and trustworthiness of digital communications. Message authentication serves three primary purposes. Integrity, it ensures that the message has not been altered during transmission. If any modification occurs, the system can detect it. Authenticity, it confirms that the message originates from the claimed sender. This is critical to prevent impersonation or unauthorized communication. Non-repudiation, the sender cannot later deny having sent the message. This is especially useful in legal and financial transactions where proof of origin is required. To achieve these security goals, cryptographic mechanisms are used including hashing, message authentication codes, digital signatures, and the public key infrastructure. These authentication techniques are widely used across multiple applications. For example, secure communication protocols like SSL, TLS, IPsec, and VPNs, they all rely on message authentication to protect data in transit. Data integrity verification is used in file integrity, monitoring, and password storage, and as well databases security. Identity verification plays a crucial role in digital signatures, certificates, and authentication protocols, ensuring that only authorized users gain access. Now let's start with hashing, one of the fundamental building blocks of cryptography. Hashing is a one-way mathematical function that converts any input, whether it's a short message or a large file, into a fixed length output. This is known as a hash value or message digest. Think of it like a digital fingerprint. Every unique input generates a unique hash. Even the smallest change in the input creates drastically different hash value, making it an excellent tool for detecting changes. Hashing is essential in many applications, such as password storage. Instead of storing actual passwords, systems store hashed passwords. File integrity verification. When you download the software, you often see a checksum. This is a hash value used to verify the file hasn't been tampered with. Digital signatures, we'll be exploring this later, but hashing plays a key role in verifying digital documents and transactions. For a hash function to be considered secure, it must have 6 key properties. Deterministic is the first one. The same input always results in the same hash. Fixed length output, no matter how large or small the input, the hash will always be a fixed size. Pre-image resistance, it should be computationally invisible to reverse the hash and find the original input. Collision resistance, two different inputs should never generate the same hash value. Weak hash functions like MD5 have suffered from collision attacks. Avalanche effect, even the smallest change in input should create a completely different hash. Efficiency, a secure hash function must be fast to compute while still being highly secure. A real-world example is file integrity checking. Suppose you download a software file and compute its hash. If even one bit of the file changes, the hash will be entirely different, alerting you to potential tampering. There are several widely used hashing algorithms, but not all of them are secure today. MD5, which produces a 128-bit hash, was once popular but is no longer secure due to its vulnerability to collision attacks. SHA-1, a 160-bit hash function, was also widely used but has been deprecated for similar security reasons. Modern systems rely on SHA-256, which is part of the SHA-2 family, which provides strong cryptographic security. The latest advancement is SHA-3, and SHA-3 offers an alternative structure for improved security. MD5 hashing algorithm, one of the most well-known cryptographic hash functions. MD5, or Message Digest Algorithm 5, was designed to generate a 128-bit hash value from any input data. The output is a fixed-length 32-character hexadecimal number, making it easy to store and compare. While MD5 was once widely used for security, it's now considered broken and insecure. Due to its weaknesses, it's vulnerable to collision attacks, where two different inputs can generate the same hash. Additionally, pre-image attacks allow attackers to reverse engineer the original input from its hash, making it unsuitable for password storage or digital signatures. Despite its flaws, MD5 is still used today for file integrity checks and non-security related hashing, such as generating unique file identifiers. However, for cryptographic security, modern algorithms like SHA-256, SHA-3, or Blake2 are recommended. So while MD5 played an important role in the evolution of cryptographic hashing, it's no longer suitable for secure applications. Instead, newer, more secure hashing algorithms should be used for protecting sensitive information. Now we will explore the secure hash algorithms SHA family, one of the most widely used cryptographic hash standards developed by NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology. The SHA family consists of multiple versions. SHA-0, the original 160-bit hash function, published in 1993. This was withdrawn due to an undisclosed security flaw. SHA-1, introduced in 1995, was designed as part of the digital signature algorithm DSA. However, it was found to be vulnerable to cryptographic attacks and has been deprecated since 2010. SHA-2, introduced in 2001, includes SHA-256 and SHA-512, which are more secure and widely used for digital signatures, TLS, and cryptocurrency. There are also truncated versions like SHA-224 and SHA-384. SHA-3, finalized in 2015, was designed using the CISSP algorithm and differs structurally from SHA-2. It was selected through a public competition to provide an alternative hashing standard with enhanced resistance to future attacks. The SHA standards are governed under the FIPS publication 180 series, with SHA-3 formally defined under FIPS publication 202. Hashing is widely used in cybersecurity for many reasons, including password security, file integrity verification, and digital signatures. Let's go through real-world examples for each use case. The first use case, password storage using hashing. Instead of storing plain text passwords, systems store hashed passwords to enhance security. Let's say a user creates an account with the password as you see on the screen, mysecurepass123! The website will hash this password using cryptographic hash function, for example SHA-256, and then the result will be a hashed password. Now the question to ask, why is this secure? The system in this case never stores the original password, will store only its hash. Even if the database is leaked, the attacker cannot reverse the hash back to the password. Each time a user logs in, the system rehashes the entered password and compares it with the stored hash. And this is how the user is granted access if the hashes match. Next, we have another use case, the file integrity verification, the checksums. Hashing is used to verify the file integrity and detect changes during transmission. For example, let's say you download a software file and the website provides a hash. Let's say it's a SHA-256 checksum. The downloaded file is the softwareinstaller.exe, and then you downloaded from the website the hash, which was computed using SHA-256. What you need to do, you can verify the file's integrity by hashing it using same hashing method. So you will get the softwareinstaller.exe, and then you will create a hash using the same method, which is in this case is SHA-256. If the generated hash matches the expected hash, the file is authentic and unaltered. However, if it doesn't match, the file may be tampered with or corrupted. Why is this important? Because it ensures no data corruption during download and protects against malicious modifications by attackers. While hashing ensures data integrity, it does not provide authentication. That's where message authentication codes, MACs, come in. A MAC is a cryptographic checksum created using a secret key and the message. Only those who possess the key can verify the message authenticity. There are two common types: HMAC, which uses SHA-256 for secure authentication, and CMAC, which leverages block ciphers like Advanced Encryption Standard for added security. MACs are widely used in network security protocols to prevent tampering. Let's break down how hash-based MAC works as an example. The sender hashes a combination of the message and the secret key using cryptographic hash function, for example SHA-256. Both the sender and receiver agrees on the shared secret key ahead of time. This generates a MAC tag that is appended to the message and then transmitted to the receiver. The receiver will perform the same hashing operation with the shared secret key, and then will compare the two hashes. If the calculated MAC matches the received MAC, the message is considered authentic, and if they don't match, it indicates possible tampering or an incorrect key. Now if you look at CMAC, cipher-based MAC, the difference is that instead of hash function, it encrypts the message using block cipher-like Advanced Encryption Standard, producing again a secure MAC tag. Now that we understand hashing and message authentication codes, let's explore digital signatures, one of the most crucial tools for verifying authenticity. Digital signatures ensures three key things. Authenticity confirms the sender's identity, so the message is from the claimed sender. Integrity, this is to ensure the message has not been altered. And non-repudiation, where the sender cannot deny signing the request or the message. So how does it work? The sender first hashes the message using cryptographic hash function. Then the sender encrypts the hash with their private key. This encrypted hash is the digital signature. When the recipient gets the message, they will decrypt the signature using the sender's public key, recompute the hash from the received message, and then compare both hashes. If they match, the signature is valid. Digital signatures are used everywhere. Email security like SMIME and pretty good privacy, software verification, ensuring an update is legitimate, and blockchain transactions, verifying digital ownership. Without digital signatures, attackers could easily forge messages or manipulate transactions. In my previous cryptographic algorithms video, I illustrated how digital signatures work. In this video, we'll go deeper and illustrate the process again, breaking it down step by step to understand its role in message authentication, integrity, and non-repudiation. Let's say Alice wants to send Bob an important message. Since this is a financial transaction, Bob needs to be certain it came from Alice and that it wasn't altered before reaching him. Before sending the message, Alice runs it through a hashing algorithm like SHA-256, which generates a fixed length, unique digest of the message. If the message changes, even by one letter, the digest will be completely different. Next, Alice encrypts the message digest using her private key, turning it into a digital signature. Now that Alice has created the digital signature, she needs to send the message to Bob, while ensuring that he can verify its authenticity. When Bob receives Alice's message, he needs to confirm two things. The message really came from Alice, this is authenticity, and the message was not altered in transit, this is integrity. Bob will use Alice's public key to decrypt the digital signature. If the decryption is successful, it confirms that the message was signed by Alice's private key, proving authenticity. Bob then hashes the received message using the same hashing algorithm. In this scenario, it's SHA-256. This will generate a new message digest on Bob's end. Bob then compares both digests. If the decrypted digest from Alice matches the newly generated digest, the message is authentic and unaltered. However, if they don't match, Bob knows the message was tampered with. Digital signatures are used for more than message and financial transactions. They are also used to authenticate code or software distributions that you download from the internet, such as software patches. Also provides legally binding electronic signatures for digital contracts and agreements. We just learned about digital signatures, but how do we manage and verify public keys? That's where public key infrastructure comes in. Public key infrastructure is a framework that ensures secure communication using public and private keys. Public key infrastructure provides all the components necessary for different types of users and entities to be able to communicate securely and in a predictable manner. A public key infrastructure is made up of hardware, applications, policies, services, programming interfaces, cryptographic algorithms, protocols, users, and utilities. These components, they all work together to allow communication to manage asymmetric keys, facilitating the use of public key cryptography for digital signatures, data encryption, and integrity. A public key infrastructure is composed of several components, all working together to handle distribution and management of keys in a public key crypto system. Keys are carried via digital structure known as a digital certificate. Certificate authorities and registration authorities exist to manage certificates. Where is public key infrastructure used? Every HTTPS website uses a public key infrastructure to encrypt connections. Email encryption, as MIME, relies on public key infrastructure to secure messages. Smart cards, VPNs, and authentication tokens also use public key infrastructure for secure access. Public key infrastructure ensures that digital communications remain trustworthy and verifiable in a world where cyber threats are constantly evolving. In the previous section, we introduced public key infrastructure and its purpose. Now let's dive deeper into how the public key infrastructure actually works. When someone requests a digital certificate, the process starts with the registration authority or RA. The RA acts as a gatekeeper, verifying the individual's identity and ensuring that all provided information is accurate and legitimate. It starts first when the user requests a certificate, so the user submits a certificate signing request to the registration authority. This request typically includes the user's public key and identity details. Then, the RA verifies the identity. The RA validates the requester's identity using appropriate methods, such as documents, biometrics, or organization validation. Once the identity is confirmed, the RA forwards the approval to the certificate authority, the CA. The certificate authority issues the certificate. So what the CA will do will generate the digital certificate, binding the user's identity to their public key. The CA then digitally signs the certificate using its private key to ensure authenticity and integrity. Then the CA delivers the certificate to the user. The CA sends the certificate directly to the requester, the user, or an entity, and then the user can install the certificate in their system, such as a web server, email client, or authentication system. Regarding certificate distribution, the certificate can be published in a directory, such as an LDAP repository, to make it accessible to others. Anyone communicating with the user can retrieve and use the certificate for encryption, authentication, or digital signatures. Key takeaways. The registration authority role is identity verification. It does not issue certificates. Key takeaways. The registration authority role is to identify. Key takeaways. The registration authority, the RA role, is identity verification. It does not issue certificates. The certificate authority issues and delivers the digital certificate to the user. Public key infrastructure wouldn't be complete without digital certificates. They are the foundation of trust on the internet. A digital certificate is like a digital passport. It proves who you are online and ensures that communications are secure. The certificates are created and formatted based on the X509 standard. The X509 standard outlines the necessary fields of the certificate and the possible values that can be inserted into the fields. X509 is a standard of the International Telecommunication Union. Certificate contains information like the version number, which identifies the version of the X509 standard that was followed to create the certificate, indicates the format and fields that can be used. Subject, which specifies the owner of the certificate. Public key identifies the public key being bound to the certified subject, also identifies the algorithm used to create the private public key pair. Issuer identifies the certificate authority that generated and digitally signed the certificate. Serial number provides a unique number identifying this one specific certificate issued by a particular CA. Validity specifies the dates through which the certificate is valid for use. Certificate usage specifies the approved use of the certificate, which dictates intended use of this public key. Signature algorithm specifies the hashing and digital signature algorithms used to digitally sign the certificate. Extensions allows additional data to be encoded into the certificate to expand the functionality of the certificate. There are different types of digital certificates. Domain validation, basic encryption for websites. Organization validation confirms company identity. Extended validation, this is the highest level of security. This is the most secure used in banking. When you see HTTPS in your browser, you are trusting a certificate issued by a certificate authority. This process ensures that you are not communicating with an imposter site. In public key infrastructure, the certificate authority plays a critical role in establishing trust online. The CA is a trusted entity that issues, revokes, and manages digital certificates, ensuring that identities are verified and secured. So how does this work? When an individual or an organization needs a digital certificate, they will send a request to a registration authority. The RA validates their identity, ensuring that the applicant is legitimate. Once approved, the CA generates the digital certificate and then digitally sign it with its private key. This signature will prove that the certificate is legitimate and has been issued by a trusted source. But the CA's role doesn't stop at issuance. It also manages the certification life cycle. If a certificate becomes compromised, outdated, or is no longer needed, the CA can revoke it to prevent misuse. Revoked certificates are listed in CRL, Certificate Revocation List, or managed through Online Certificate Status Protocol, OCSP, to keep systems informed about untrusted certificates. A hierarchical chain of trust ensures that the certificates are reliable. At the top we have root certificate authorities, which are the ultimate trust anchors. Below them we have intermediate certificate authorities issue certificates on behalf of the root, ensuring scalability and security. Certificates issued by a certificate authority are used in various applications, including website security, encrypted communications, and digital signatures. Every time you visit a secure website, like we said earlier, send an encrypted email, or sign a document digitally, a certificate authority is working behind the scenes to verify and protect the transaction. In a sense, the CA is the backbone of secure digital communication, ensuring that the Internet remains a safe place for users and organizations alike. In public key infrastructure, ensuring that certificates remain valid and trustworthy is crucial. But what happens if a certificate is no longer secure, should not be trusted? That's where the Certificate Revocation List, or CRL, comes in. CRL is a list of revoked certificates that the certificate authority has invalidated before their expiration date. Why would a certificate be revoked? There are a few reasons for that. First, if a certificate private key has been compromised, then it must be revoked immediately. Another reason could be that the certificate was issued with incorrect information, or maybe the certificate holder is no longer authorized to use it. such as an employee who leaves the company. So how does the CRL work? The CA publishes an updated list of revoked certificates. Whenever a system or a user attempts to verify a certificate, they check this list. If the certificate serial number is in the CRL, then it's considered invalid and should not be trusted. However, CRLs have some limitations. They need to be updated frequently to remain effective, and checking a CRL can sometimes cause delays in a certificate verification. To address this, many organizations use an alternative called the Online Certificate Status Protocol, OCSP. Instead of downloading an entire list, OCSP allows systems to query the certificate authority in real time to check if a certificate is still valid. This method significantly reduces delays and improves security. In short, CRLs and OCSP help maintain trust in digital certificates, ensuring that users and systems can confidently verify the authenticity of secure communications and transactions. Instead of being revoked, a certificate can be suspended, meaning it's temporarily put on hold. Suspension of a certificate has the same immediate effect as revocation, but it can be reversed. Public key infrastructure is a crucial component of cybersecurity, ensuring secure digital communication, as we illustrated multiple times in this video. But how do we establish trust in this system? That's where trust models come in. Trust models define how certificate authorities validate identities and create secure communications. Organizations choose different models based on their structure and security needs. In this video, we'll explore the different types of trust models used in the public key infrastructure and how they function. The first model we will look at is the hierarchical trust model. This model follows a top-down structure where root certificate authority acts as the ultimate trust anchor. It issues certificates to intermediate certificate authorities, which in turn issue certificates to end users or devices, also known as leaf certificate authorities. The trust flows upward, meaning if a certificate is signed by a certificate authority, it's considered trusted only if we can trace its chain back to the root certificate authority. This is why the root certificate authority self-signs its certificate, making it the most trusted entity in this hierarchy. This model is widely used in enterprises, government agencies, and large organizations. In some cases, organizations need to establish trust between multiple entities, but without relying on a single root certificate authority. This is where the cross-certification trust model comes in. Instead of single hierarchy, each certificate authority certifies the other by issuing cross-certificate. This forms a bidirectional trust, meaning certificates issued by one certificate authority are trusted by the other and vice versa. This model is commonly used in federated systems where multiple organizations or government agencies need to establish secure communications. The peer-to-peer trust model eliminates hierarchical dependencies altogether. Hence, no certificate authority is subordinate to another. Each CA acts independently, issuing and validating certificates for its users. And entities rely on their issuing certificate authority as trust anchor, but different CAs do not inherently trust each other. A major challenge with this model is scalability. Every CA must individually establish trust with each participating CA, making it impractical for large-scale deployments. To solve the challenge of interconnecting multiple trust domains, organizations use the Bridge Certificate Authority model. Here, a bridge CA acts as a mediator between separate public key infrastructures, allowing them to trust each other. However, the bridge CA is not a root CA. It does not issue certificates. It does not issue certificates directly to users. Instead, it helps establish cross-certification between different organizations. This model is particularly useful in government agencies and multinational enterprises where secure communication between different public key infrastructure systems is needed. In summary, choosing the right trust model depends on the needs of the organization. If you need a centralized, controlled structure, the hierarchical model is the best choice. If multiple organizations need to trust each other, cross-certification works well. Peer-to-peer is ideal for independent entities, but it does not scale efficiently. And when different public key infrastructure systems need to interconnect, the bridge CA model is the solution. In this section, we are going to discuss the concept of key escrow, a mechanism designed to ensure access to encrypted data even when the original key is lost or unavailable. Key escrow works by entrusting a third party, known as an escrow agent, with a copy of a cryptographic keys. This agent could be a government body, a security organization, or an enterprise administrator. The purpose is to allow authorized entities to recover encrypted data under specific conditions. Now let's break down how it works. When a cryptographic key is generated for encryption, a duplicate copy is securely stored by escrow agent. If the original key is lost or if an authorized request is made, like a legal warrant, the escrow agent provides access to the key, enabling decryption. Key escrow has several real-world applications. Governments. Governments may use it to access encrypted communications for criminal investigations or national security reasons. Enterprise rely on it to ensure that encrypted business data remains accessible even if an employee forgets their password or leaves the company. Some industries enforce key escrow as part of regulatory compliance to maintain oversight over encrypted transactions. But despite its benefits, key escrow comes with risks. If the escrow system is compromised, attackers could access all stored keys, leading to a major security breach. Another concern is trust. Users must be confident that the escrow agent will handle their keys responsibly. And of course, there are privacy concerns. Many critics argue that government-mandated key escrow could lead to mass surveillance and the loss of personal security. Overall, key escrow is a double-edged sword. It provides a safety net for lost encryption keys, but also introduces security and privacy challenges. Understanding this balance is crucial for implementing key escrow effectively in any environment. In this video, we have explored message authentication and the mechanisms that ensure the integrity, authenticity, and security of digital communications. We began by understanding hashing algorithms, which play a crucial role in data integrity. MD5, SHA-1, and SHA-2 are commonly used hash functions, each with different levels of security. HMAC and CMAC extend hashing and encryption to verify message authenticity. Next, we looked at digital signatures, which combine hashing and asymmetric encryption to authenticate messages and ensure non-repudiation. We then explored the public key infrastructure, the framework that manages digital certificates and encryption keys. Certificate authorities, registration authorities, CRLs, and OCSP help establish trust in a digital environment. And we also covered the public key infrastructure trust models. Additionally, we discussed key escrow, a mechanism where cryptographic keys are securely stored for recovery or legal access. While this can be useful, it introduces potential security risks if not properly managed. That concludes our lesson on message authentication, digital signatures, public key infrastructure, and digital certificates. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more cybersecurity content. See you in the next lesson.